Æthelnoth was a medieval Archbishop of Canterbury. Descended from an earlier English king, Æthelnoth became a monk prior to becoming archbishop. While archbishop, he traveled to Rome and brought back saints' relics. He consecrated a number of other bishops who came from outside his archdiocese, leading to some friction with other archbishops. Although he was regarded as a saint after his death, there is little evidence of his veneration or of a cult in Canterbury or elsewhere. Early life. Æthelnoth was a son of the Æthelmere the Stout and a grandson of Æthelweard the historian, who was a great-great-grandson of Ætheldai. In the view of the historian Frank Barlow, Æthelnoth was probably the uncle of Godwin of Wessex. He was baptized by Dunstan, and a story was told at Glastonbury Abbey that as the infant was baptized, his hand made a motion much like that an archbishop makes when blessing. For this motion, Dunstan is said to have prophesied that Æthelnoth would become an archbishop. Æthelnoth became a monk at Glastonbury, then was made dean of the monastery of Christchurch Priory, at Canterbury, the cathedral chapter for the Diocese of Canterbury. He was also a chaplain to King Canute of England and Denmark as well as Dean of Canterbury when on the 13th of November 1020 Æthelnoth was consecrated as Archbishop of Canterbury. Æthelnoth's elevation probably was a gesture of appeasement, as Æthelnoth's brother Æthelweard had been executed in 1017 by Canute, who also banished a brother-in-law named Æthelweard in 1020. A later story stated that Canute favored Æthelnoth because Æthelnoth had bestowed chrism on the king. This may be a garbled account of Æthelnoth's participation in Canute's confirmation as a Christian in 1016 or his coronation in 1017. There are some indications that he was a student of Alfric of Ensham, the homilist, Archbishop of Canterbury. In 1022 Æthelnoth went to Rome to obtain the pallium, and was received by Pope Benedict VIII. On his return trip, he bought a relic of St. Augustine of Hippo for 100 silver talents and 1 gold talent. He gave the relic to Coventry Abbey. He also presided over the translation of the relics of Æthelnoth, his predecessor at Canterbury, who was regarded as a martyr and saint. In 1022 Æthelnoth consecrated Gerbrand as bishop for the diocese of Roskilde, which was in Scandinavia. The Archbishop of Hamburg-Bremen was the metropolitan of Roskilde, and the fact that Gerbrand was consecrated by an English archbishop later caused friction between the bishop and his metropolitan. Canute was forced to concede that in the future he would not appoint bishops in Bremen's archdiocese without the metropolitan's advice. A later tradition held that Æthelnoth consecrated 2 Welsh bishops, one at Llandaff and one at St. David's. The medieval chronicler William of Malmesbury praised Æthelnoth's wisdom. A story of doubtful authenticity tells how he refused to crown King Harold Harefoot, as he had promised Canute to crown none but a son of the king by his wife Emma. Death and legacy. Æthelnoth died in 1038, on either the 28th of October, 29 October, the 30th of October, or the 1st of November. Prior to his death, some of his episcopal functions were performed by a royal priest, Eadsiege. He was buried in Canterbury Cathedral. He is considered a saint, with a feast day of the 30th of October, while he is listed in Jean Mabillon's Lives of the Benedictine Saints and in the Acta Sanctorum. There is no contemporary or later evidence of a cult being paid to him at Canterbury or elsewhere. Citations